Look, you can again. I told you I'm not a healer, but you can ask any doctor that if he has a patient and the patient thinks positive, they will heal faster than a patient who thinks negative.
Very true. Very true. I love your books as well. I mean, there's so many books out there, and you've also done some radio presenting as well.
I do a show into the United States every Tuesday, which is heard in 48 markets in America. It's coast to coast. It's very short, but it's motivational. The main presenter is Doug Stephan. So if you do want to hear a good 20 minutes of inspirational talk, tune in.
I think we can, because most people can get coast to coast on their iPhones now, which is good. I don't want to bring this up too much because I know this may, but obviously you met Michael. Michael, and I'm a fan of Michael's. I was playing the music as I came up. I was very, very sad. And one of his songs that, I know it came from, I believe it was Charlie Chaplin, Smile. And it's a song that I love, and it really sums up, I think, about remaining positive and smiling.
Look, Michael was an amazing man.
Yeah.
He was an icon, he was a legend, he was a superstar. His lyrics, his music, his voice, his dancing, his movements.
Yeah, amazing.
Nobody could be. There was another Michael Jackson, and we became friends through Mohammed Al Fayed.
Yeah.
And then I always knew that Michael, when he was a teenager, he came to one of my shows in Los Angeles at the Shrine Auditorium, and I didn't know that. The usher told me that Michael was there in disguise, and that freaked me out. I said, "Oh my." Michael Jackson came to see my show. Why didn't you tell me? Years passed by, and then I met him. I designed his last CD.
Yeah.
I have a drawing in the booklet of Invincible. And I told him many times, Michael, you'll die if you continue this way of life and abusing your body. But I didn't live with him, so I couldn't be with him all the time. And when he came to England, he came to my house. He actually sat where you are sitting. Yeah. He was my best man when I renewed my wedding vows.
That's right.
And I was shocked as anyone and everyone around the world when he died.
Yeah, I think also when you think of John Lennon as another person that had an effect on people, a huge effect.
Well, John Lennon changed my life because when I was in the gutter of fame and fortune and ego trip, I became very ill. I had bulimia.
Yeah.
It's interesting how I had everything. I could afford to buy everything and anything. And then even in restaurants, I started devouring all the desserts, and I didn't want to be fat.
Yeah.
And since childhood, I remember a movie where the Romans would feast, and then they would go out of the palace and they would stuff a feather down the throats.
Yeah.
They would throw up, and then they would go back to feast.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, I didn't know that there was something called bulimia.
No.
I thought I invented something that I copied from a movie.
Yeah.
And I did that, and it became addictive. And I was for 1 year I had very strong bulimia. And the doctor told me I was dying. I was always thin from my early 20s, but I lost so much weight. And John Lennon one day told me, because we lived very close to each other in New York, and he told me, Uri, you look like an Auschwitz survivor. And Yoko said to me, you've got to go away. You've got to go to Japan, to Mount Fuji.
Yeah.
Since I am very well known in Japan, because my TV shows started there in 1973, I got on a plane with my mother, my wife, my 2 children, Daniel and Natalie, my brother-in-law, Shippy. We landed in Narita Airport. I hired a van, drove to Mount Fuji, and I disappeared into a forest. And I stayed in the forest for an entire year.
It must be amazing, because I've often thought when we go on holiday, don't take anything with you, don't take any outside world. It must have been very spiritual as well.
I learned about spirituality because I told John, I've heard of the word spiritual and spirituality, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I discovered its meaning. And then I came back, and that's when Richard Branson got me on the plane. That's when I met Clement Freud, and that's when I came to live in England.
I think also with I'm a celebrity, get you out of here. I admire you on that as well. Because you won a BAFTA on that one.
Yeah, I did win a BAFTA with the whole team. But most of the time people think that what I'm saying is I don't take myself seriously all the time. I do quirky and fun things, and I thought to do Celebrity Get Me Out of Here was really great. It was a fantastic chance to go into the rainforest of Australia.
Yeah.
My wife came along and she had a nice villa overlooking Dung Island. She waited for me. It was really great experience. I would do it again. And anyone who tells you, I don't want to do Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, don't believe them. After that, I could not walk in the street. I mean, people still remember me from that. And that was, 8 or 9, maybe 10 years ago. I did the first one with Tara Palmer Tomkinson.
I remember it. I remember seeing
Tony Blackburn.
Yeah.
I do a lot of television, especially with my new hit TV series.
I was going to say about the hit TV series, because obviously focusing on that now, that's in Japan, is it, or is it going to be here?
No, it's been. I've created it in Israel 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And it broke all historical rating records, and NBC bought it in America, and then it went to Germany and Holland and Turkey and Greece and Sweden. I mean, it went to Holland. It went to so many different countries. Now, since it's a live show, it's 11 weeks. 11 weeks, every either Sunday or Saturday or Monday, and I have to be there.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking for the next me. It's called the next Uri Geller. In some countries it's called Phenomenon. In some countries it's called the new Uri Geller, or the successor. And it's still going strong. I still have to do it in India, in China, in France, in Italy, and in Spain.
Yeah.
And I think once I finish those countries, I would have had covered maybe 23, 24 countries.
Amazing.
Then I will take the winners of each country and I will try to do a finale, maybe in Las Vegas or in Macau somewhere, so to see who is the greatest mentalist in the world.
Amazing.
And to do a show like this, 11-week live series, it's not only the series, you've got to do the PR, the newspaper articles, the TV guides, the radio, the spots, the promos, the advertisement, the rehearsals. It's a massive
I think that's what people don't always realise, is how busy somebody that's in the public eye is so busy.
Unbelievable.
And you forget.
When I did Hungary and Turkey, both countries wanted it in the same week.
Yeah.
So Hungary, I think, was Monday, Turkey was Saturday, and I commuted with a private jet from Istanbul to Budapest back to Istanbul. It was not easy. But hey, Richard, I can't complain. At this stage of my life, I never believed that I will have such a hit. So I'm very, very flattered and honoured to have something of this nature.
Well, I'd like to say it's well deserved, and
thank you.
What I want to do, Uri, before I finish, is I did get a spoon because somebody had given you spoons in the past, and I want you to put on the car. I forgot to bring a spoon at home, so I got a little plastic silver one from the service station, just so that I can say Richard Case gave.
I will put that on my car. How's that?
That would be an honour.
So, but before you go, I'll bend this food for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. God bless you and all your listeners and viewers. And I'm going to do a little promo for your Ghost Challengers. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, come. Let's go and do the little promo for you. Let's go outside.
Yeah.